Okay. Chris is here, but I'm not putting him on the stream yet. Just out of tradition. Now you're here.
Oh, I'm so confused
That's
and
great.
taken aback, and I have to send our
No.
guest. No. What did I do? What did I do wrong?
You gave it away.
Well, I didn't say who. I didn't say it was Ron Smith. I just
said
said,
it was-
"Oh darn! What did I do?
No, I wanted
What did I do?"
to pretend it was going to be a regular episode and then
Yeah.
have a guest show up. But it's cool to ruin everything. I'm just going to boot you from the stream again. Can you believe this fucking guy? I mean, invite him onto this thing and make him do all the work of booking guests. I mean, I didn't make you do that.
No. I took it upon myself because otherwise we'd just have to talk to each other.
No,
every Friday.
Eventually we'd probably get a guest. It's just I wouldn't be, proactive about it. I'd just be like, hey, you should maybe do the show sometime. And then,
Yeah, it'd be great if you were to do the thing with the thing.
Anyway, here's Ron Smith.
Hey!
Hi.
Hello.
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 Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Did you enjoy your introduction?
I didn't hear my introduction.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, there you go.
For all the people, all the not watching,
All the none of you.
all the none of you, this is our friend Ron Smith. Hi, Ron Smith.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah.
We're getting by. Stuff is falling
absolutely.
down behind me, but yes.
Chris, could you ease off the gain on your mic a little bit?
I'm sorry.
A little bit. It's
Sure.
pretty good, but it's just...
Are you sure that's not just my raw
Maybe it's
power
your-
and
it's-
animal magnetism?
Oh, I was going to say it's your grating voice. And
What do you mean?
So, Ron, how is your the 4 ensuing days since we've seen you?
Yes.
been?
They've been varied, and
In what ways? What gradients are we measuring these things?
well, I tell you, I've got I'm taking these meds, and
Ooh,
yeah,
that's one of our segments.
yeah,
What meds are you taking? How did
Yeah,
you know?
They're not fun meds,
I have to make
and one of the side effects is fatigue. And so, I sleep poorly and then I nap frequently through the day.
So you're me, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel like I've got energy for about 20 minutes and then I kind of crash. And so, just things happen in between those. But it's been a good week. We've had fun.
Well, we're glad you were able to make it tonight. We were both looking forward to getting to talk to you, and that's our show. Thanks for coming by.
There it is.
It's a short one.
That was the
Yeah.
important stuff. We got to the important stuff. The meds you're taking.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Do you like how I made it accessible for the kids?
I
thought that was
think
cute.
all those Prince fans who still haven't gotten over it, you're there for them.
Who still haven't gotten over it? His
Yeah.
death or his music? Because I know you're over one of those.
His use of
His whole vibe.
his use of like letters for words like are
To
you.
be something.
Yes.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't sprain something rolling my eyes that hard.
I think they fell out of your head.
Ow. Ow. So, Mr. Smith,
Are you a Prince fan, Ron Smith?
No, actually, no. I have nothing against the Prince, nor his music, but
the Prince?
that all arose during what I call my dark years, and that was a time when I was completely out of the culture, and so I missed like a 15, 20-year block.
Oh.
The Dark
Yeah.
Ages.
So
You're,
yeah, those were my dark years.
Your life and your hair both dark at the time is what you're saying.
No, the hair has been white for a long time.
You got the Steve Martin gene. You
Steve
just
Martin.
Something like
disease.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
It started. It was kind of cute at the start. It was, oh, you got wisdom, or something like that. You holy man. Wow.
you holy man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Born of
Yeah.
lightning. Yeah.
Born of lightning.
yeah.
Oh my God. You're
Lord
born
of
of
paleness.
lightning. and things.
Chris, I interrupted, but Ron,
Please do.
you're among friends here. We all
yeah.
kind of have
We interrupt constantly.
we have no opinion really of
None.
Prince, really.
I just don't like him.
It's fine. I think it's, like, I get it. I get it, what he does. And, I understand.
Did. We don't have to put up with it anymore. What he did.
Okay. The
Too much too soon?
The views of Chris Eric, junior partner, do not reflect the views of Ssnotwasscall.
But they do reflect those vet balls.
Yes. Yes. The MP from the,
Captain.
from the 2010s in the UK.
Captain.
What?
Captain.
Okay.
CAP''M. Captain.
No, I understand the colloquialism and where it comes from. Like, I'm the captain now.
See, Ron, aren't you glad you
Isn't this
blocked
great?
your night out for this
Anyway,
idiocy?
Chris,
So
you were going to ask him something.
I was,
and I was
going to
interrupt
ask him
you
something.
one more time.
You
before-
were,
yeah.
and then I was
So-
going to just keep talking through.
Go
Now,
ahead.
see, we like to describe this show. Well, Ron, my wife, first girl reference of the night.
Girl reference.
Girl
All right.
reference.
GR.
Yeah, my girl said we should just rename this show Two Assholes Talking, and I think you can see why.
Yeah.
But we have you here tonight, so we have you to talk to, and hopefully not talk to each other quite as much, because we don't. We're actually in the same room. We just don't want anything to do with each other. So we have
Yeah.
two completely separate setups.
Big
as you can see.
partition. Yeah. You can't see my light
Partition.
bleed over to his. It's,
I want no part of your partition.
Hey,
sir.
now. What is
Sir.
this? India and Pakistan in 1946?
Indiana
There you are.
Jones.
Yeah.
And the pack. No.
So should we get to our first actual
I
segment?
think we need to get to our first segment.
Let's get to that. So
Ron, we want to get to know you.
Yep.
In a fuller way than we're able to in the way we met originally. First VOM reference of the night. Is this a
boy.
crossover episode or what? But
just team
what
me
we
up.
wanted to know was
Have you seen Star Wars Episode 2?
that is not what we wanted to know.
Well, if you haven't, I'm just going to let you. Spoiler alert: Watto's got a hat. What we really want to know is, I'm so
What-
sorry.
Ron Smith, what's your fucking deal?
What is it?
Tell us about you.
Your whole thing. What's your
Your
thing?
whole thing
but be pithy. Be brief.
from conception on to birth. Skip second grade because fuck second grade. But after that,
I can attest to that. Fuck second grade for sure.
for sure. No, I am genuinely curious. I can't speak for my co-host, but I am genuinely curious about.
Ron, you fit the bill of every other guest we've had, where we know you through the VOM, and except for Rowan, we know Rowan from real life.
I reconnected with Rowan through the VOM.
Me too.
And became stronger friends with him and started a vastly superior live stream with him back in the earlier days of the shutdown.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. It's
I
Bruno.
know.
We don't
I know,
talk about
sorry.
that.
We don't talk about
But anyway, so you are a musician that both Chris and I we like your stuff. And
I don't know that like is strong enough.
I mean you are one of the, not to play favorites, but you are one of the highlights of every VOM.
Much better than what both of us put out there, and you have a
I'm
skill.
just sleeping through this whole thing.
Yeah,
so.
obviously. And you have a skill that I haven't seen anyone else have on there. Is you have the fullest 2-song sets I've ever seen. You have a song that has everybody laughing, and then on the next one, everyone is crying. And I've never, and I don't think that's actually hyperbole at all. Like I've seen you do it a couple of times, and what I want to ask is, why the fuck are you doing that to us, man?
You're making us look bad. Could you just be bad for a bit,
Or just
take a break?
Now, I am curious. So I obviously you're at least older than Jules.
I am definitely older than both of you put together,
Definitely
probably.
older than Jules. Well, I don't think put together.
I don't think
we're-
so.
No, we're not going to ask your age.
Yeah.
But you're obviously a gentleman of a higher age than ourselves.
Of a
So
wizened
a wizened.
wizened
got-
time frame.
You seem to have come by it honestly. So You're actually 23. It was just really 23 really bad fucking years is what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So skip second grade and skip 23, but everything else we want to know.
But
Wanna
we're
know your whole
curious,
thing.
from where do ye hail? How did you get into music? Or, if you like, take what's your fucking deal, however you like,
Yeah,
and
it's
just
like a song
answer.
prompt. Yeah, just run with it. It can
Go
just be
with it.
like, oh yeah, I didn't like this last season of Star Trek, and something. That could be your deal.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, I went to a party with my dad, and then I went home with my mom. If you know what I mean.
Hey now,
Goodness.
I don't know what you mean.
I appreciate you going for the beginning. I think he's making a conception joke.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, went to a party with my dad and went home with my mom.
I see. It was a transfer
Yeah.
of funds.
Yeah.
A deposit was made.
Yeah.
You know, it never gets any better thinking about your parents doing that.
Oh,
It never does.
no, especially the way their lives turned out, you know.
Yeah, and it's extra weird because both of mine are dead, so it's extra weird to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think about it all the
too.
time. You'll text me in
do.
the middle of the
I
night. It's
really
I'm
do.
thinking about it again.
You seem to like the text.
It's great. I love it.
You keep putting little hearts on it.
We love to see it.
We love to see it.
So then,
Sometime after you were
yeah,
born.
I was born out in Salt Lake City, Utah area. It was a suburb called Murray, and in a little place called Cottonwood Maternity Home back in 1950. So do the math.
So you're 23.
Yeah, that's right. 23 is 50 years of experience.
Math, not my strong suit.
So anyway, I grew up a Mormon out there in Salt Lake City. Yeah, that was mindfuck A.
So back when it was real, like not this current like New Jack Mormonism,
Where they
but
let
you
the
had,
black people in.
You had like the real deal, and they
Oh,
like
this was the
comedians
real
toward
deal
comedians.
where black people were just
This
yeah.
is persona
well,
non grata.
In that case, I'd like you to meet Jules. Jules
Yeah.
is a black person.
Hello. It sounds like he's been out of he's been out of LDS for a while. Did they call it LDS when you were in it?
They called it.
That's a newer
they
thing.
called it. LDS.
Okay.
Latter Day Saints. Yeah.
I used to see the commercials as a child. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
Rock your world.
So then, I guess, probably it's hard to know. It's hard to know what to put in and what to leave out. But
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, I'm going to put it this way: that I went through probably 65 years, maybe more, of basically either Mormonism or some other. I got into evangelical right-wing Christianity. And I was actually part of a missionary organization from 1974 to 1995.
You do not give the impression of one who trucks in that.
No. And for a while, for a number of years, I taught linguistics at the Missionary Training Institute that was part of the mission that I was working with. I had come through there as a student, was planning on going down to Mexico to be a missionary, and part of the vibe of the whole group that I was in was this thing about going to places where the languages are unwritten and learning how to reduce that to writing, and then teach people the writing system. Give them a writing system alphabet for their language, and then translate the Bible into that language. And then establish churches and all that kind of nonsense. So
just get the people who wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And
you found the real new recruits. That is an untapped resource.
Boy.
Yeah, sort of. So anyway, when I got into the schooling for that, I was an apt student, I guess, and so I wound up teaching the classes instead of taking it.
Oh wow!
And they even wrote a couple of textbooks for them. So that was kind of. I know this is all just sort of flying by the seat of my pants. I was, frankly, I've been a slacker since about age 8. just skating
Again,
by.
good company.
Good company.
Yeah,
I knew
my
you'd fit in
dad,
all right.
my dad was an alcoholic and just a real asshole when he drank. And so basically, life was just avoiding him and avoiding that pain, and just skating by. And I mean, but one of those people that they always say, "You're not living up to your potential,"
Oh
that.
my God, that refrain,
Mm.
that old
Anyway,
chestnut.
so
I'm unfamiliar.
anyway,
This is as much as I was supposed to do. This is
yeah.
it.
This live stream. Yeah.
This. No, just this. This
boy.
beard is more than anybody thought I could
Congratulations.
manage. So
You have my permission to die.
thank you.
Fair enough.
Thank you,
So,
Bane.
so anyway, we uh, I finally managed to get unhooked from all of that about 7 years ago,
Wow.
and
Can I ask
I'm
what
actually an atheist.
what precipitated your exodus from the what I can call a cult, because it is one.
Oh,
and
it was
it's a
absolutely.
cult. I
There's
mean,
no
you went from
question
a
about
cult to a different cult,
Yeah,
it.
you
Yeah,
said.
I've actually been in a few cults.
like literal cults.
What's your
Literal.
favorite one?
You ever try ashram?
No,
Oh,
there are so many though. You can all get
so
involved,
many.
so many of them.
Yeah, there's so many options. There's a cult for all
Well, and
seasons.
here the thing is that, well, as far as I'm concerned, religion's all cultic. But
Yes.
And
so
I'm sorry, Rod. You went out of focus on us.
yeah, I see that. Let me do this
Yeah,
and do that.
because I'll say you looked great. You don't have to like do the gauzy.
the
know,
Vaseline on the
yeah,
lens.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on.
If you put your hand up to it and then move it back, it
We
should
tried
like
that.
refocus.
Is it focusing?
Yeah, it's going with you. It's going with you. Yeah, there we
Hey,
go.
there you are.
There you are.
Hey.
Hey, there's that beautiful
Magic.
face. Those nice silver
Anyway, what
locks.
really precipitated it is that because of my adeptness at pulling the wool over people's eyes, like master bullshitter, I always managed to wind up in leadership of some sort, no matter where I would go. And when you see it from that end, at some point it just starts to break in on you what you're doing to people. It's a whole different ball game.
So you had a crisis of conscience.
Yeah, I really did.
Well, you
In
had
fact,
one. You had a conscience.
That was the
Yeah.
crisis.
Yeah.
it was the sort of thing, that back to this, this tribal evangelism stuff. When you have a goal that seems so valid,
Sure,
in
you're
your
bringing them
mind.
the good news. Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
like divine purpose.
it's amazing what you will put up with
Yeah.
if the goal is good.
Sure.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, and the fact that it was like 7 years ago, which is when this, like, the Trump wave started hitting, like started
Yeah.
cresting and taking over everything. And that is, I mean, it is a religion to these people. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
look
Oh, yeah.
at the QAnon stuff, you look at the Republic.
Wait, are you here to try to convert us? Did you change your mind again, or?
Oh no,
What's,
I actually brought you guys here to convert you to the way of Q.
Ah.
Yeah, so John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive.
Like Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Yes,
Q?
yes, John Delancey. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He is my Lord and Savior. No, but like it's it's everywhere, and it is the culture. It's a cult culture, and it's a culture
Yeah.
of grifting that we have now. I mean, it is a vibes based economy, as I like to say.
Yeah, that
I
is
do
no
like to
shit.
say it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that. That one of the things that really helped me, really where the turning point was, was that because of being raised, how it is, the religion that you are raised with seems right to you. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's the
If
default.
I'd been born in Saudi Arabia or something, I'd be a Muslim. It's my kids have a hard time understanding that. They have a hard time with my whole atheism, because they just can't see it. But like all the people in the world, if you're born here, your religion is this. If you're born here, your religion is this. That's just the way it is. And you say everything else is just nonsense, but yours is real. Yours is right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And but what I had to get unhooked from was this idea of the inspiration of the Bible. That was the hardest thing, because
It's a
that's
good
really
book.
that's the crowbar, is that they convince you that it is it's God's word. And but the thing is that everybody, I mean, what sermons are about almost all the time, or books or whatever, is okay, but we take these scriptures and this is what God is. We take these scriptures and this is what this is what God, this is what's about, gays, or about marriage, about this, whatever. And they're always having to nuance it and massage it and stuff like that. It's like, at some point I just was able to free myself from this idea that there's anything at all about God in religion.
It's a fair point.
Religion, I mean, at least in its current state, I don't know that it always has been this, but I mean, it seems like for at least modern history and a lot of ancient history, it was just a tool used to control people.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah. I
Give them
mean,
something to look forward to in the next life, so it's okay that this one sucks and they're subjugated. Yeah.
Right.
It's a yep.
Yeah.
It's a means of social control and political power.
I am curious, when did music come into things for you? Because you're awfully good at it. So
Well, I started playing guitar when I was in the Army. I guess is when I really started playing. I had diddled with it with the ukulele in high school. Some gal had we went to a little youth thing, and some gal had a 4-string like tenor guitar or something, and could just use 4-string chords. And I got sort of familiar with those, playing with a little ukulele, just taught myself. And so I sort of picked it up there, and then in the Army I bought my first $27 guitar.
can you imagine how much that guitar would be worth now?
$400.
$400 entire dollars.
Yeah, maybe so. Anyway, I remember there was a guy that had a dobro. It was a orange plastic, or acrylic, whatever, dobro, and he and I would sit and play. He'd play and I'd just fumble along. But somehow he talked me into playing with him, and we did a song called "The Draft Dodger Rag" for the Officers Club luncheon one time at Fort Devens, Massachusetts. And fortunately, he knew the words. I kept fucking him up. And he knew the chords, and I kept fucking those up too. But we got through it, and they thought they got a kick out of it. And I guess that was my first real public performance. When I was in high school, though, I was in the music building. There was a group called Madrigals. There was a concert choir, and did that. I was in that a few years, and.
You ever traffic in musical theater? That ever tickle your fancy?
Well, not in legitimate musical theater, but Mormons are big on
musical theater.
They make
bootleg musical theater.
Yeah, they one of the things that they do every year is they write plays and put them on for each other. At least they used to do this back when I was a kid. They'd call them road shows, and I was in a lot of road shows. I was in some stuff, some productions in high school. School plays and stuff like that. Never in a lead, because
I think you are also once again in good company.
Yes.
I was never a lead. I played Eugene Fodor in Crazy for You, the jukebox musical by the Gershwins.
Would you, if you call the dentist in Little Shop a lead? I think he's more of a.
I think he's like a Fodor level role. Like, he's more involved than my role was in Crazy for You.
Get a couple songs.
He wouldn't be above the title. No. It would be like Audrey,
featured player.
Seymour, and Audrey 2 are, I think, the and then
I will say it is the first place girls ever noticed me. So God bless musical theater.
That was gonna be like a little side road I went off on.
Yeah,
Like, was that
best.
What did I understand that Mormon theater and the Salt Lake scene may not be the same as our
our experiences on the East
our
Coast.
sultry, decadent Maryland theater high school scene was. But did that lead to anything for you? It was also the first time I was around girls, and my whole I had like a kind of long run of doing sort of theater-esque stuff, and that was the first time, girls ever paid attention to me, and
It's wonderful for that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it actually never did. When by the time I was done with high school, it was a miracle. I graduated. I enlisted in the Army right out of high school.
Oh.
So went to basic training the same month that I graduated.
Wow.
And I was in there for 3 years and 7 months and 3 days. Spent 18 months in Vietnam.
Ugh.
And I was a Morse code intercept operator. So the recruiter said I could be a linguist, but I didn't pass the test for that. Not even a cunning linguist, if you know what I mean.
Hey now, hey now, watch yourself, counselor.
Hey, we don't use that kind of fucking language here.
Yeah, we do. It's that kind of.
We
shit.
just we're not that clever. We just come out and say it.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's that kind of shit.
Oh, my earphone keeps falling out here. These dang things. Anyway, when I was in the Army, I had a guitar too. We'd go out and sit on the bunkers sometime, me and a couple other guys, and get drunk on warm beer and play what country music until I didn't really like country music. That's all this kid knew, so we just played country songs, and he told me how great Tammy Wynette and George Jones, George Jones, what a great couple they were, and he knew all the stories and whatnot.
A great couple, one of the great couples.
Interesting.
Ike and
interesting
Tina,
definition
George
of
and
great.
Tammy,
Yes,
Sonny
exactly.
and Cher. It's some of the
Actually,
best
Sonny
couples.
and Cher were like relatively minor. I think they parted as friends. So that's
So,
Whitney and Bobby. I should have done.
there you go.
Yeah,
There
thank
you go.
Bobby.
Thank you much. Thank you. Rule of threes.
Michael and Priscilla. What? Okay.
Oh boy.
So anyway, then I got involved in church and all that stuff, and I did a lot of. I got roped into a lot of, like playing for youth groups, or doing vacation Bible schools, or this, that, and the other. But it was always, a lot of times it was just taking care of kids, or else I'd be a song leader in church, and I'd use my guitar sometimes for that, do special songs. So I wrote a few songs back in those days that I don't claim anymore.
So when did you write? Do you remember when you wrote the first song that you claim now, like the one that you're comfortable with and you started feeling like you?
That would be. Well, there were a few in the 20, between like my 60 and 65th year. These aren't songs I can still play, but my music, when I did it, was always just from my point of view, not really from the official point of view. If you know what I mean? I'd write these songs and sing them in church, but I was always bending things because I just couldn't sing.
So it was part of you. Yeah.
Yeah, And then, but the first song that really did it was after I left the last churchy thing that I was going to do the rest of my life. Trying to remember which one it was.
So this is just in the last 7 years then?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I would have thought you were doing it your whole life.
Yeah.
Well,
you seem like
the thing is, when I left the mission, that was in 1995. Is that right? Yeah.
We'll believe you.
Yeah, you said 74 to 95. Yeah.
When I left, I put the guitar down for about 20 years.
Oh my God.
Because I had been using it to ingratiate myself.
Oh shit.
So it was tainted for you.
Yeah. Because the group I was in wasn't a salary position. It was a thing where you are responsible to raise your own support. And so it was just always this thing about trying to ingratiate yourself to churches and stuff, so they'd think you're a good guy and they would help support your missionary work. So that just got so toxic for me,
That is fucking
just
gross.
so compromising that I just couldn't even.
Yeah, I
I
understand.
just laid it down.
But then 20 years later, you
20 years later, I was also involved in the last church I was involved in, and I thought. I thought my playing days were over, frankly, because I just didn't think I'd have any skills left. And somehow they had a little church band, and they did some of this contemporary Christian music and stuff like that to tracks. They had backing tracks and stuff, and we'd play along with them. And I wasn't in that group, but the guy that was the head of it got sick, and so they asked me if I would fill in. And so I started, playing then, and realized I could still sort of play. But it was really not until it was about 4 years ago I went to a music retreat. It was called the Songwriters Retreat, some Songwriters Retreat or something. And I took a couple of songs there that I had written. I should know what they are. Anyway, and they were really well received. And I just, but there was a guy there, a guy named Corby Linker. He's a musician and a filmmaker and a bunch of other stuff now. But I kind of knew him back when. I'd met him when he came out to Buffalo, Missouri to perform a little small concert one time, and really liked his stuff. And he was out there as a guest artist for this song retreat. And so, in conversing with him and stuff, and just him listening to me, expressing like, I don't even know if I belong here or why I belong here, what I can do or what I can't do. And he told me at the end of it, he said, you keep asking about this. I want to let you know you're there. You can do it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. And I thought, coming from him, that was like huge, So that was where I really started writing, songs. I actually came home from that retreat and went down the next day and bought a legit guitar. Haven't looked back.
Were you still playing the $27 one?
No. I had a little triple Aunt Martin back in the day.
Oh.
When I got out of the Army, and I had that until I was involved in. Well, I had loaned it to a guy one time, and somebody put a hole in it.
Not the one that's already there, I assume.
An additional.
No, a different hole.
A fun new hole.
A fun new hole.
That's great.
And but I was still playing with it. But a fellow that was in this church that I was in went out and bought me a new Ovation Pinnacle guitar. I guess that's what it was called. Nice little kind of thin-bodied electric acoustic guitar. Bought me that. In appreciation, I gave him that Martin, which is really a bad deal. But
I don't think you should see if you can switch back.
Yeah, Ovation. They don't make their guitars aren't that bad, but it's not a.
I played that thing to death, and so I had actually before this Song Travelers retreat, I had told my wife I didn't feel like I could go any further with the Ovation. It was just too limiting as far as what it would let me do. So I went down I traded that in on a Godin guitar. Heard of them, Godin, they're out of Canada. And this one was a hybrid acoustic electric guitar. It had humbucker pickups. And it also had a piezo or whatever they say pickup. And it had sliders where you could bring up either one or both at the same time.
But it was still a box guitar?
It was actually solid, except it had a cutout in it, and it had these like a dozen very length wire closed coat hanger type wire about that thickness, these resonating rods in there that would
Oh,
you know,
wow. Interesting.
yeah, it's pretty
So it
exotic
would play
guitar.
unplugged. It would sound like an acoustic guitar.
Unplugged, it sounded like a quiet acoustic guitar. It wasn't
Right.
it
Yeah.
wasn't as quiet as an electric.
So it's made for
You know,
stage.
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways, that's what I actually took out to Song Travelers, was that guitar.
So
But I
do you
just had,
remember that song you took with you, the one that you played him that made him say you can do this?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Would you be in the mood to play that particular song?
Yeah, let me see. Let me figure out what. Yeah, here's the one it was. Let's see. Let me get my guitar all wired up. I stuck everything in a drawer the other day. This is the this is the transmitter here.
Oh.
And
Oh
that
right, the wireless
Yep.
setup.
So that goes in here, and then
You know, this is just our kind of show.
Guess this
Banging
is-
on stuff, making noises.
This is
here it is. It's
another
already
episode
plugged in.
of Gear Check.
Gear check.
Gear Check.
So does it go clicky clicky or does it go bangy bangy?
Yeah, Gear
Yes.
Check.
Okay, so I turn on the other one's plugged into my. I've got a. I don't know if I can. Hello.
Gear Check.
Let's see. Is that my little focus right down there? It's that little red box.
Oh yeah.
Got one of those.
Yeah.
Is it the two? Is it the twofer? Yeah. It's the two.
I don't have that. I hear those are nice.
That
Yeah, that little-
that is literally all you need.
Yep. And then so the receiver's in here. I turn that on,
Oh, interesting.
and then I turn this on, and they just link right up. That light's green. Hello.
Hello.
That light's
That
green.
light's green.
And we have guitar.
All right. Give us a nice old Stromboli. Never had Stromboli.
It's quite tasty.
Oh, let's see if I can turn this up. They got the instrument turned down. Are you hearing? Oh, it's just tapping out here.
I can hear you, but it sounds kind of like you're underwater.
Yeah, is the battery dying or?
Shouldn't be.
I
Oh, let me
agree.
see what
It, I'm anti batteries dying. I'm pro-life for batteries.
Pro battery life.
Well, let me just get a cable and plug this thing in.
Also allowed.
I wasn't.
Your input may be
Oh,
your headphones, not the
Yeah.
focus, right? Like in the settings on.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So I know you're using the
Okay,
mic.
so yeah,
on
so I got to
those.
turn the man. Let me just switch over to the Focusrite.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
give me a
then
couple
we'll-
minutes. Just talk
Yeah,
among
no
yourselves.
worries.
Talk
no
amongst
worries.
ourselves.
Okay. So Chris,
Yeah.
how about that secret invasion?
It was a little better. It
was a
should
little
have happened
better.
sooner. Yeah.
It-
Ooh,
yeah.
I've watched the first 3 Mission Impossible movies now,
All right.
and
Third one's the best one so
the
far. I
third
bet.
one is so good.
Yep.
I loved it so much. It was so metal. And then I started
Philip
watching,
Seymour Hoffman, man.
and I started watching the fourth one. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Oh, stick with it a bit. Yeah, I mean, stick with it.
I thought they went so hard in the paint on the third one. I'm like, oh my god, they killed that girl, and then
Yeah.
they killed that one,
Yeah.
and now Philip Seymour Hoffman's yelling at him because he knows his name, and he'll do it.
Ethan.
Ethan.
Huh. I'm gonna. Do you have anybody you love, Ethan?
It's
gonna
really
find 'em.
strange how they turfed him out though, because like they had this great movie, and then They go all kicky punchy, and then spoilers. He gets his head meloned by a car in the street.
They have a problem with that in Mission Impossible movies, where
They
they're
just
just
don't
like,
know.
you've had a villain this whole time, and either they're completely uncharismatic or they're very charismatic, and then boom, they're done, just in a weird way.
Maybe they just knew they wouldn't be able to bring him back in the future.
Do we have contact?
Um,
I don't know. I think he's still.
Boom.
it's quiet.
Focus right.
In here.
How far did you get into this to the fourth one?
Is that it?
Maybe 20, 25 minutes.
Okay. Did what's his name show up? Hawkeye?
Yes, he's very funny in it.
Yeah, he's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sixth one's the best one, so I'd say try to give 4 a little bit more.
Which one's the sixth one?
Superman.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Cox
watched
Stars.
some of that, but it had become so blatantly obvious that Tom Cruise is walking on a box the entire time because they made him almost the same height as Superman, and Superman's like legit 6'1",
Yeah.
like, and he's a mountain.
Then Tom Cruise is 4'5".
He is, yeah, he is not a tall man. I mean, star power, nothing like it.
Oh yeah.
you know,
No one shines brighter
really.
or casts a bigger shadow.
Although for such a tiny, tiny man. And I get it. I was almost really short, and then I wasn't. I ended up this.
Me too.
This amount of height, like I ended up 5'8".
Okay.
It's like 4 inches taller than I expected to be. So,
Yeah.
There we go.
hey, there you are.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you have any
hearing
feelings on Mission Impossible?
We have contact.
Super booper.
Super booper. That's what I always say. Every time.
That is what you every time.
Every single time.
What are the odds?
I know we've never talked about it until right
Every single time, and yet, every single time, and yet,
now. And
every
yet,
single time.
Doritos.
Okay, so for
This is a
this one,
crossover episode or what?
Ooh boy,
Ooh, that's
that
a
is
lot of
that is hot guitar.
Hot.
Hot. That is bitter. Bring it down a little bit.
Bring it on down. Oh, you went away.
how about that?
Either a little more voice or a little less guitar. Maybe meet them both in the middle.
Oh, okay, the voice. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, and still too hot.
Yeah, I think bring everything down just a touch, and then you're. Yep, that's good. Let's hear the voice.
The voice is the voice.
That's great. Fuck yeah. All right.
So now I got to get my little cut cape on here.
Oh man, I should buy a couple of those just to.
What are they?
Cut capo, where it's only like you can get them like 3 strings, 4 strings.
Nah, that you just made that up. That can't be a
Yeah,
real thing.
Susan Rowe uses a cut capo.
Oh, okay, then it's real.
Kaiser calls it a shortcut. There. Yeah, I use it for several, actually for a bunch of songs. So yeah, this was one that I wrote before the Song Travelers thing. One I took out with me. I wasn't sure how it would go over, but I was just thinking about the creative process in general. No, actually, I was thinking about it specifically, and just trying to tell myself, you've got to not just bend everything to a song. Somehow you've got to just let yourself, just let your mind just create, let your mind just think, let your. So that's what this is about. Oh, see. Except I did that, and I really need to do this. Let your thoughts run free. Let your mind run free. Let it all run free. Go where it goes. Let emotion run free. Sensation run free. Let it all run free. Go where it goes. With room to breathe. Permission to be. Running free. Let your heart run free. Let your spirit run free. Let it all run free. Go where it goes. Let yourself run free. Let others run free. Let it all run free. Go where it goes. To take a chance to get unstuck. To learn to dance, to run, Jesus, to run amok. Missed a few chords in there. Let it be. Let it run free. Let it go with the flow. You're learning to know.
Is that one you've played on Zavam before?
Twice on the bomb.
Yeah, it sounds a little familiar.
Yeah.
When did you start doing the VOM, by the way?
Oh,
I
what a good
started
question.
pretty early on. I started probably April of 2020. It wasn't too
Oh, okay.
far in.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so you got there not too long after me then. I think so you got to see me in my pre-hosting spiraling phase.
I did indeed.
This is why he doesn't remember seeing you, because he's
It's
blocked
for
that
bad.
out. That's
It's
been
for bad.
redacted.
I remember you
That.
sitting in that little closet there, and
Yes, it's
Yep.
over there. It's still there. I'm just not in it anymore. Yeah,
You're out of the closet.
Yes.
It gets better.
there it
gets
is.
better.
it gets better. Yeah, no, that's funny. Yes, that would happen, and I would just wild mood swings from week to week. It was fun.
Why, was anything going on?
No, nothing.
No, you're just feeling weird.
Just me. Just feeling kooky.
So random.
Yeah. So you were there. Wow, that is early. April.
Yeah.
That would have only been. So you were there
It's
like
like a
before,
month in.
before
Less
even
than-
like
maybe
the
less
10th
than a
one.
month
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the very first one, I want to say, wasn't like an actual live stream. It was everybody throwing videos in.
Oh,
at
that
pre-appointed
was.
times.
Mm.
Yeah.
I went back and I looked at like the fourth one,
Yeah.
and y'all went around like 3 times.
Are
It
you
was
sad?
long because there's nothing to fucking do. I
Nothing
mean, like,
to do.
oh my god, like
We were all so happy.
I was
just to have
so. I hadn't even considered that there would be something on the internet to fill that void in me. Like
Yeah.
seriously, like when I started on the VOM in May of 2021, that was the first time I had been like regularly performing at all. Like I wouldn't even like practice regularly. Like I did my little mixtape thing that I produced, but then after that, I was just fucking playing PlayStation. Shit.
Well, yeah. Well, that's.
I bought the
sometimes
play.
you
I
have
did
to-
buy the PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, you have to live life to have something to write about. So you had to play all those
true.
games.
Yeah, but like I hadn't been writing. Like I had been working on the album that I released in 2018, and then after 2018, I barely wrote. Like I wrote one song in 2019, and then the lockdown happened, and I wrote like five.
I didn't really start writing for 2020 until May, and I didn't realize why until after the fact. We were like lockdown for 2 months. Like got our groceries delivered, all that, and then like 2 months in,
washed your mail.
yes, I started. But then I started driving to get things, like a curbside pickup.
Yeah.
And just the act of driving the car and seeing things again started kicking songwriting out. And I ended up with like 42 songs that year. So it's true.
That kicked some out, yeah.
Yeah,
Kicked a few out.
Yeah,
A few out. I'm gonna say
I
six of
said
them are
I
good.
wrote. I said I wrote 5, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I wrote. I don't know.
Hey, we were all shamed by Kyla when she was here last week. She had 1 year. She's like, yeah, it's usually like 50 a year or so. I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah,
And,
Jesus.
and it's not like she's saving up chords.
No.
like,
It's a regular chord emporium.
It really is. I loved when she played that one song that was like fairly common changes, and I thanked her for playing a song that made us feel like we could have written that one because it was changes we understood. But we're not here to talk to Kylie. We're here.
I mean,
Kyla. We're here to
Tyler
talk to you.
Kylie.
Tyler Kylo.
Well, I don't know. Do you want to play more song?
Are you in a song mood or are you in a talk
We
mood?
could just shoot the shit some more. There's no form to this.
There
It's
really
bad.
isn't. All
we want to say is Watto's got a hat. Oh, you were going somewhere else?
I was going to go somewhere else.
He's got a hat though.
He's got a hat. Watto's got a hat.
Sequel hat.
If it makes you feel better, Ron, I've been doing this the whole time with him. I still don't exactly understand that. So don't.
He's got
feel
a
bad.
hat in episode 2.
Yes.
He wears a hat.
Uh-huh.
End of end of anecdote.
Who's Watto?
It doesn't matter. He's
It
a
really
slave owner.
doesn't
He's a bad
matter.
guy.
Bad guy.
Hey, I'm a stereotype. George Lucas wrote me into a movie.
Not as offensive as the Jedi.
Oh, a
Yeah, just-
rigor.
It's full like Charlie
And
Chaplin.
like, I'm not doing racial stereotypes. I am
Not Charlie
doing as
Chaplin. Wait, who's the guy it was? It's
Andy Kaufman?
No, it's Charlie Chan. Charlie Chan.
Ah,
It's
Charlie
full Charlie
Chan.
Chan.
Oh, gee, okay.
It is.
No,
It
it's
really
not
is.
It's not Charlie Chan, but
No.
it is kind of.
It really is.
so
I
we do-
expected him to call one of the Jedi his number one son. I mean, it's getting pretty bad.
So we do have another segment which could lead
Ooh.
into you
Yeah.
playing another song.
Yeah. Do you have a song that hasn't quite gotten the response you thought it deserved? You thought it was something special. Maybe people didn't quite respond the way that you wanted them to, which is to say, "Where's your goddamn parade?" So, do you have a song that might fit that?
Let me look through my stuff here. I certainly
cool.
I certainly have several of them, but I just don't know which one it is.
That's every song for me.
The
You
heck
should
of
be
it.
throwing me parades for every song.
We still need that drop of Rowan though. After I said
I
that,
don't think that
played
deserves
song,
a parade.
Like a parade? We need that drop.
Although apparently Rowan can be a little stinker because Rob told me that Rowan has on multiple occasions been like, yeah, we're going to do kilts for this gig. Let's both wear a kilt. And Rowan is like a Celtic music guy, so like you'd think, yeah, he'd be one to rock a kilt, and he could pull it off because we've talked about him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen his legs. Let's just say that. But then Rowan would just show up in jeans. Just happened multiple times where he's just like he's kilt pranked Rob.
That makes me so much more happy than it should. Oh, that's wonderful. Little stinker. You got some Rowan stinker stories. That's great.
Did you find something, Ron?
I did find something.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. This is a song that I just thought just rocked the living shit out of things. And
it's good to be honest. I mean, I got a couple songs like that.
I have some of those. Like, what's wrong with you fuckers? You should carry me out on your shoulders. What are you doing?
yeah, this is the song. Not even sure what I called this thing. This is supposed to be, well, it sort of is. It's sort of born of the transformation from, like belief to unbelief, sort of, and just realizing the emptiness of the promises of the everybody and the everything sort of thing. I don't know, all of the platitudes and such.
So like
Anyway.
really light subject matter.
Yeah, this is really. So let's see. I think it's called Enough. Here it comes. I saw you sitting all alone, holding your head in your hands, crying. By and by, to someone or something unknown, you unburdened your heart, or at least you were trying. Oh, where are the words to say the deep of my pain, or the long of my loneliness coming over me over and over again? You then fell silent, waiting for answers to come, looking for light in the dark, but all you saw was none. Oh, where are the words to say the deep of my pain, or the long of my loneliness coming over me over and over again? All at once, a whisper awakened within. You are enough for yourself. That is where you must begin. I am enough for myself. That is where I must begin.
Yeah, fuck those guys. That was a great song.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Your parade's in the mail, Ron.
Goddamn
thanks.
right. Your goddamn parade's in the mail.
I'll be looking for that.
As well you should.
Probably have to intercept it at the mailbox because it'll be
goodness.
so big they can't get it in.
So
Hey, it's not that kind of show.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is that kind of show. Here,
It really is.
Ssnotwasscall.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Well,
Bad Jules, be nice to our guest.
Ron, we have hit an hour. I know that is the standard for normal people to be like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I've done an hour of this. It's time for me to go. We run feature length.
We do. Although tonight is going to be less of a feature, I will
Yeah,
tell you, Jules.
I see
apologize.
Chris
I
yawning.
have things.
so-
I know I've let you down. I have.
Yeah, you're a
I
bad
actually
person.
have to.
cool.
It's not me. It's you.
Yeah.
I have to. I actually have to practice for a duo show that we have a week from tomorrow,
Ooh.
and we have to. I have to. We have to play for almost an hour, and ask me how much we've practiced. Not nearly enough.
How much
so
have you
we're-
practiced?
Not nearly enough.
Oh, okay.
So we have to
Do that in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got like another half an hour. So Ron, if you wanted to hang for another half an hour, I understand.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
You're good with that?
All right. That's
Okay.
cool, man.
Yeah. And we would like to have you back when we have the time for a
For a ridiculously long. Why the fuck are they
ridiculously long
still
show.
doing this?
Why won't
sort
they
of
stop
thing?
talking
Yeah.
show?
Last week it was 3.5 hours.
Two assholes talking. Although to be fair,
We had-
the best parts
there
of the
were
show
two-
we were not in them.
I literally kicked us both off
Yeah.
the show because we would just weigh it down. Because
Yeah, we had
two guests.
Kyla. Yeah, Kyla
Yeah.
and Sean Morse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. Sean is the presumptive third chair / actual host when he
Right.
comes on.
We
He
started this show not knowing that he was actually supposed to be hosting it.
Yeah. He should have been here
And
the
then
whole
it
time.
just turned out when he showed up, oh, that's what this is.
I want to say after the week after we had him on, we spent a good deal of the show talking about Sean
Yeah.
and like wondering if he'd come back. Like you think he meant it? You think
Yeah.
Awesome.
he did. He did. Spoiler. He came back. He
Yep.
totally came back.
Yep.
So are you? You have sent me on occasion. You have sent me some demos on SoundCloud. Are you working towards making some recordings?
Oh, and do you have like a link or
yeah.
some sort of
I
Link.
I have yeah, I've got I did a radio show
Right.
a while back, and I've got those. I've got most of the stuff from that I've got recorded on my PC, and then I did a full hour. There was a thing called Make Music America Day. It was on the solstice, the 21st of June.
Yeah.
And
Sing June or June?
it was June,
Okay.
not June.
Yeah, not June. It's
No,
Dune.
not June.
June.
No, not Dune either.
June, yeah. In theaters, November something.
Yeah. So that's a video. I've got an hour long thing that I could.
Is that the thing where you're at the front of a block of like 4-hour-long performances?
Well, theoretically, but no. I just was in
You
there by
sliced
myself.
yours out? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They just gave me mine. So that was
that's
pretty
great.
cool.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, that's
I did
cool.
not get a chance to watch it when you shared it originally. So if you could share it, I am sure.
If you drop it
Jules
in
will
the
put it on
private
screen.
chat, I'll put it
It's
in the
private.
description and I'll
It's
put it
a
on the
private chat. It's private.
You talking about in the VOM?
No,
I don't
we're,
see a
we're
private
talking about
chat.
here.
Oh,
if-
on the right hand side of the screen.
Yeah.
Unless if you're full screen, then
Then you got to cut that shit out. You gotta.
just
Oh, okay.
just press
That's
escape.
how it says
and
it
then
on
the
there.
side
It says
it'll-
you gotta.
Oh,
cut
there's
that
a
shit
chat.
Yeah, it says yeah.
Okay.
There's also a public chat. If you want to just drop it in the comments, you could do that too.
Yes, also allowed. It'll be the first ones.
Yeah. Until we get that
Okay.
Russian bot who refuses to spell slurs right.
Oh man.
I know. It's just the one thing I just wish they could get right.
If you're gonna
those Russian bots.
slur me right.
That is
What are things that she said?
Sigh.
what Johnny Carson being an asshole, or
No.
just slurs in general.
Not, hey, I won't have you impugn the good name of Johnny. I can't even finish the sentence. Never mind.
All of the Tonight
That
Show
guy's a
hosts
real piece of shit.
have been bad.
I was listening to your boy Seth Meyers on a podcast. He is lovely and charming.
He's great. He's great. I hope he
Neil-
wins the Emmy, and it's crazy
Yeah.
that The Boys wasn't nominated for a single acting or directing Emmy.
That
That's
is
crazy.
crazy.
It's insane. It's
The
insane. It's
Tonys
insane.
got nominated, and I think that's great because the non-scripted Tonys was one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen. It was wonderful.
And this has been another issue of I don't care about award shows. Did I send you that video? Link to that video?
No, I don't think you did.
Oh. Well, it's on Rachel Bloom's YouTube page. Rachel
Oh.
does stuff. Yeah.
Everything she does is delightful. So,
And it's stuff, most of it.
did you make it to?
Yeah,
she
I
does
made it.
stuff. Yeah, you did. Did you make it to the OCDJ bit?
What are we talking about?
Wow, I don't care now.
Because this is going on?
All I care is that you
like
haven't
this?
made your screen the biggest. I think you know the answer to that question, Mister.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's
you
good.
do. Yeah, it is. Nobody said you could stop. Yeah.
I'm the dancing baby from Abby
Yeah.
McBeal. That's her name.
McBeal.
Abby McBeal.
I enjoyed that show for a while.
David E. Kelly.
Yeah, he had some TV shows.
Yeah, we had quite a few, most of them in Boston.
They really were a lot in Boston.
A lot of them in Boston. All of them about lawyers.
He shat on
Even the
shat on
school
one of
one.
them. He Shatnered one of them.
Yeah, that was the good one.
Was it?
Boston
There it
Legals.
is.
Boston Legals a shit, yeah.
On the
Yeah,
thing.
that's the video there.
I'm going for the thing.
All right, I'm going to
1
put
hour video.
that.
Now that's your 1 hour video, and you had a radio one too. Is there
Ye-
access
ye-
to that yet?
No, I don't think I have that posted up yet. So
Well, get on
I'll
that
do
shit,
that.
please. Yeah, get on that shit, please.
yeah, I'll do that.
I like to change it. You motherfucker, why haven't you please done that, please?
Yeah, it's just that you kind of wish you hadn't fucked him up while you were playing him, but then,
That's part of the charm.
Yeah, and that's how you know you're live.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, they're definitely live. So, yeah, I'll get that and I'll shoot you that.
Okay, and
sometime.
I'll put that in the description. So if
Cool.
if people want,
And I already have it put aside so that I may watch it. This is the 6 hour one, and it's got you're the first hour, correct? Yeah, 1 to 2.
They billed it as 6 hours, but there's only 2 of us that showed up. I showed up 1 to 2, and this other guy showed up like 4 to 5:30 or something, and
So what did they do with the rest of the time?
nothing.
Huh?
Well, see, here's the thing. It was the vibe of this thing was that it started like in Paris or something 20 years ago, and some guy just decided everybody should get out and play music on the public spaces.
By the way, best French accent I've ever heard. But please continue.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's which is hilarious because I wasn't even thinking about. No, that probably ought to be in a French accent. But, well, whatever. I don't talk poodle. Anyway,
Poodle.
my point is that so what it is that came to Missouri. It came to the U.S. Several years ago, and they've been doing it. And so basically, they had people signing up for different venues around Jefferson City, which is where I live, and they would just play music in front of restaurants, in front of houses, wherever anybody would put them. So any people that were willing to have musicians come, they would post that on the site, and then the moderators would hook people up, performers up with venues and stuff. But this one that was called Vidwest Studios it's a volunteer production venue for basically for aspiring filmmakers. And they have spaces there, studio spaces, and there's equipment that you can rent Your rent is you pay dues for this, like $35 a year or something like that. But you can reserve mics and recorders and cameras and all this stuff. And they had put out a thing um, in a Facebook group that I'm in that was offering, said anybody that wants to do this, Make Music Missouri, and lists us as the venue, will record your performance and give you the video, the recording, all rights are
Did
yours.
they hand you a Betamax as you walk out? Like,
They actually just shot me a download, so that was cool.
oh, well, that's good too,
Yeah.
I guess.
But I
If
think
that's
I
even
heard
real.
you could get it on Laserdisc.
Yes.
Yeah, probably could. Yeah. If you were one of those unfortunate few. I knew a guy back in the day that was a physician, and he was like an up and coming physician. He hadn't been out of medical school too darn long, I don't think. And so he was, kind of rolling in riches, at least in his own mind. And he was lucky enough to be, had enough money to be a first adopter of several shitty technologies.
Future to fail technologies, yeah.
How many laser discs did he have? Is he one of those guys still walking around even now going, it really was the superior product?
So my high school must have been, one of those early investors, or someone in the high school must have, because for science videos in multiple science classes in high school, that shit was on Laserdisc.
Wow.
They just had a Laserdisc player, and like, I'll be fucked if we're not using this goddamn player.
Yeah, no kidding.
So do you know, I don't know about Laserdisc specifically, but do you know why VHS won over Betamax?
It was something ridiculous,
It's pretty ridiculous. Well, the funny thing is, apparently Betamax is superior.
It's superior. Yeah, it's
But
not like
do-
Blu-ray with HD DVD, where Blu-ray was clearly superior and HD DVD was like, we're here too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
get the
in
fuck
both
outta here,
cases, I'm pretty sure in both cases, it's because of pornography. Pornography decided to adopt VHS format and didn't make Betamax, and suddenly it was all VHS.
Probably
That's-
because it costs less.
Yeah, that's a true thing, though. They went for that. A lot of things in technology, ever since you started being able to do it, apparently it's porn related.
Well, I
color
think,
monitors, high def, you name it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Blu-ray HD DVD thing was more of a gaming wars sort of deal. Where HD DVD was the Microsoft answer to Blu-ray. HD DVD maybe came out first. But then Sony, when they released the PlayStation 3, every PlayStation 3 had a Blu-ray player built in. And the Xbox 360, which had come out a year before, didn't have the HD DVD player, so that was like a $200 extra feature that you had to buy. And most of the people who had Blu-ray players had them because they had a PlayStation. And
I remember it may have been a factor as well, the porn thing.
Oh, I'm sure it was. We don't have to speculate
the VHS Betamax thing, though.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah. I just thought that was a really funny, so why VHS porn? Just porn. Yeah.
That checks out. That tracks.
Yeah, it's a true
That
thing.
resonates. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it turns out that has the whiff of truth about it.
Yeah.
That's not truth.
No, that's not true. That is coitus.
You like your truth well lubed with in questionable places. Yeah, you do. So
Back to being a holy man. Yes.
Hey now, which hole are you talking about?
Sorry, that doesn't matter. Thank you for your patience with our foolishness.
Thank you, and we're sorry.
Yeah, we're so
no
sorry.
necessary.
Is there any way we could interest you in playing another song, especially if you have one that is, if it has special significance for you, or if it's just something that feels good under your fingers suddenly? Every once in a while you get a song and it's like, I could like to keep playing this song.
Yep.
Well, actually, I really like this one that I just wrote.
Wow.
Well, I played it a couple of times on the VOM, so it's one you've heard. But
Do it again,
it just really,
please.
it really encapsulates my experience right now. So I got to just figure out how I tune the guitar for that. That's an open D
called,
thing. So.
just out of curiosity, is it called I had to talk to these two assholes for an hour and a half?
No, I've been looking forward to this.
Likewise. I'm really glad you could do it. I hope you'll come back.
Yeah.
I would absolutely come back.
Well, it's every Friday here on whatever my channel's called. I guess it's
Every
just called
Friday here
Jules
on
Bland.
Rules Jan's
That's right.
YouTube channel.
10 o'clock, sometimes 9 if someone is east of Maine, which is crazy.
Somebody has a different time.
What's the deal with having a high school girlfriend?
You ever notice?
You ever noticed this? You ever heard about this? You heard about this?
You ever hear Gilbert's bit of he had Jerry Seinfeld talking?
Haven't. That was
Jerry
great.
Seinfeld talking to David Brenner.
I'll look that up.
You should. And the documentary's wonderful if you haven't watched it, Gilbert.
I have not. I didn't know it existed.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's just called Gilbert. It's on like Pluto TV and all those great things.
Gotcha.
Did we impressively vamp long enough for you to tune?
I love that. I love that the sticker on your mic stand
Every time.
just says what everybody else is thinking.
Stuff
Yeah, stuff you.
Stuff you. That's exactly what it says.
Go stuff yourself.
Go stuff yourself.
That is a lost art when they'd run movies on regular television.
And then they dub over.
Yeah.
And they'd have
Stuff
to
yourself, man.
Yeah. It was the best when they couldn't get the actors back for the TV dub, and so they just got whatever intern was in the hall.
Whoever was walking past who maybe sort of sounded like.
Come here and say this.
Yeah. Hey, what's your Bruce Willis impression sound like? That's horrible. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's $25.
Jump in. You don't have to donate plasma today. You got something else to do.
Ron Smith.
All right. Ignore it if it's out of tune. I remember the first word now. I never felt like this before. It's like someone opened up a door that I didn't even know was there. It didn't make a sound. I don't see it when I look around. There's just something different in the air. Mystery gets deeper every day. Things I thought I knew before, just fading away. I used to think that I had to know where I came from and where I'm gonna go, but that's not important to me now. 'Cause what will be is what will be, and it wasn't ever up to me. I don't know why I thought that anyhow. Mystery gets deeper every day. The things I thought I knew before, they're just fading away. Oh, mystery gets deeper every day. The things I thought I knew before, they're just fading away. Now every day is something new, but it isn't like a chapter 2. It's like starting over every day. I want to see what I haven't seen, and I want to be what I haven't been, and I want to keep living life that way. Let mystery get deeper every day. Let the things I thought I knew before just keep fading away, fading away, fading away. That one.
Love the live fade out.
Live fade out. Live fade out.
That's we really reference far too many television shows. That's Crazy
Bump.
Ex-Girlfriend. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Boom.
Big fan. That was
Great
lovely,
show.
Ron. Yeah.
And you put on a great show, and you can
do
find that show in the description and in the comments. Hosting.
RonSmith.com. You can find him at RonSmith.com, RonSmith.net, and RonSmith.org. RonSmith.tv is not yet available, but it will soon be procured.
That's right. And RonSmith.vodka is just around the corner.
Okay.
You can just make up fucking URLs now.
This is true. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
So what is next on the agenda for you musically, Ron?
And do you have any shows coming up? Yeah, are you
stuffs?
recording
Are there
anything?
things?
Well, one of the things that I'm doing is there's a thing you may have heard of called Open Mic America.
Yeah. When are you
Yes.
doing that?
Well, I've done a few of those. My most recent was a couple of weeks ago, but they have put out a thing for some volunteers to help with engineering and stuff like that in the shows. And so I am training to be able to sit in the sessions, and they do it on Zoom and live stream it to YouTube, and
Right.
there's spotlighting, and there's running the splash screens and closings and all that kind of stuff. And
Okay. The
So-
back end.
yeah, the back end, that's right. So they
Just
they
get in
had
there on that back end.
they had three functions available. You could either be an interviewer or a host, or else an engineer. And I thought, I'm not sure I'm not I'm too much of a bullshitter to be a host.
So what's different
Again,
between what's the
you're in
difference
good
between
company.
a host and an interviewer? And yes.
Well, the host kind of runs, but the whole thing, he welcomes people and just runs the kind of the flow of the show. The way they do this thing is that they have you do like two songs back to back, but there's an interviewer or a pair of interviewers in between that will ask you questions and stuff like that.
But not the host. You're not allowed
not
to
the
address
host,
the host.
not the host, exactly.
That is-
It's like if someone were running Hall H at Comic-Con and they were just like the through line throughout the whole day, but then
I
you
get
have like
that
Will
reference.
Wheaton interviewing Chris Hardwick, and then Chris Hardwick interviewing everybody, because
Wow.
I guess that's just a thing.
That's a lot. I got all of that.
No, but that
reference.
was just for you.
Ron, one of the main points of this live stream for us has been us dealing with in real time that in many ways Jules and I are the exact same person.
Yeah, and the fact that we haven't seen each other in the same room
Yeah,
just
never,
only
not
only
one
makes
time.
suspicion grow.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
Yeah.
there
We
are
look
such,
similar too. So
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
he's
that.
got more
I wouldn't
hair.
know
That's
it,
the only
but-
way you can tell the difference.
He's
Yeah.
colorblind. I
Yes.
said that to Rob the other day, and I know Rob. I know he's red green colorblind. Like this my background right now, he wouldn't understand what was happening. It would just be grayscale to him or whatever. It's like, is it purple? But yeah, I brought that up, and then we went into the whole diatribe of like how when he first said that he was colorblind to someone, that they thought he was talking like in a woke sort of way. Like, I don't see color, man, and it's like, no, I can't see red and green.
That's funny. I had
That is hilarious.
That's good. That's good. That's good stuff.
That's a good
and
one.
now I stole that story from Rob in case he ever comes on the show.
I don't
He'll
think we
never
have to
be on
worry
the
about
show.
that.
He'll
Yeah.
never be on the show.
We can't get him to go on his show. How's he going to come on
That's
ours?
absolutely true. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. When he shows up on the VOM, it's like, oh wow.
Everybody gets confused. They're
This
like, oh
is
God, Dad's here.
interesting. What do we
Everybody
do?
look cool. Be cool. Be cool. Be cool. Be cool.
Put out that cigarette. Oh man. Well, Ron, I guess we're in wrap up era. Yeah. So, if you have another song, we usually trade songs back and forth and do some sort of round robin thing. But we just let the night do whatever it is, and it's a Ron Smith kind of night. Plus, it's kind of short, so.
I do have to give you the Sean quote for that. We called it a song circle, and he called it a song slap fight. Like, oh my God, Sean Morrison.
Yeah, it can get to that, especially if it's just Chris and I.
Oh,
then
yeah.
it definitely gets a little
Extra.
catty.
A lot of that.
A little real Eartha Kitt noises. So, you got another song?
Do you have a song you'd like to play for us?
Well, I could close out with "Shit Hits the Fan" if you.
Oh God, yes.
You know what?
Oh,
absolutely.
That song is
let's do that.
The shit.
Okay, so I gotta retune, obviously.
This is my impression of George McFly as played by what's his nuts? The guy, the
Crispin
weird
Glover?
guy. Yeah, that
is it
guy.
Crispin Glover or is it the weird guy in the second movie with
No,
his facial
Crispin
things
Glover.
on? Okay.
This is first Back to the Future, the good Back to the Future. Crispin Glover, when Biff says a joke to him,
Yeah.
Biff.
It's a pretty good impression. I enjoyed him as the bad guy in the first Charlie's Angels movie as well.
Yeah, he also shows up in
Atlanta, right?
No, what does he?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, I gotta go back and check that out. But he's in the at least the first season of American Gods. I'm just gonna mute him while he's doing that.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I didn't. Oh wait, we can't hear you.
Well, now I can unmute.
Now what'd you say?
Okay, well now you're just tuning again.
Every time. He pranked us. You prankler.
Such a
prankler.
hardcore prankster.
You prankler.
Yeah, I think that's in tune.
It's close
All
enough
right.
for jazz or folk or country or whatever.
Well, maybe you deserve it because you're being a fool. Maybe you're the innocent man. Don't really matter if you follow the rule. You're gonna get hit when shit hits the fan. You get hit when the shit hits the fan. 'Cause shit doesn't care, just flies everywhere. It's too late to run when the dung's been flung. You'll get hit when the shit hits the fan. A spinning blade, it's tailor-made to send shit flying everywhere. It'll get in your clothes, get up your nose. You'll even be picking shit out of your hair. Oh, you get hit when the shit hits the fan. Left that part out. Shit doesn't care. It flies everywhere. Too late to run. When the dung's been flung, you get hit when the shit hits the fan. Now that's this. It's hard to avoid getting paranoid because fans are spinning everywhere. They keep us cool as a general rule, but if they get hit by shit, now you don't have a prayer. You'll get hit when the shit hits the fan. Shit doesn't care, it just flies everywhere. It's too late to run when the dung's been flung. You get hit when the shit hits the fan. And there it is, the classic for all ages.
That if we have an unofficial theme song, I think it's that song.
Like As Humanity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I meant this live Ssnotwasscall.
Oh, I
But-
meant... Well, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I've
you
heard
meant-
it both ways.
You meant what you meant, and I meant what I meant, and never the twain shall meet. Everything's fine. Ron, thank you again so much for doing this.
Thanks
We'd
so
love
much.
to have you back. This was great fun.
I enjoyed it too. It's nice to get to know you guys a little better. So
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
And it's
Such
and
as
it's,
we are.
And it's not an iceberg situation. We're basically cylinders. Like the thing that you see at the top, it's the same all the way
There's
down.
a lot. There's just
That's
a lot
us. It's
more
just a
of
lot
it.
more of it.
It's
Yeah.
impacted, if you will.
Yeah.
It's,
We should see a doctor, actually.
Just remember, to quote myself, we have a certain charm, but it won't last. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Forever. Until next week.
all righty.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Tartar.